Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. In today's video, we are kickstarting a 4-week camping trip. First stop on the way is Bonnechere Provincial Park. Bonnechere is about an hour away from Algonquin Provincial Park, and in fact, that is where we went on one of our day trips. I also take some time to explore the trail network here at Bonnechere in the provincial park itself. Find out what we do on rainy days when we're camping. Goodness knows it'll rain at some point when we're camping. We come dressed for it, but there's other things we do as well. Stay tuned. So we're starting off today by going to Algonquin Provincial Park. We arrived here about 15 minutes ago and have really enjoyed the drive through the park. I'll tell you, we've had a chance to see a river otter crossing the road, a wild turkey with her young. I didn't know that they fly. They fly even before they look like they should be leaving mama yet, because I got out to film them and all the babies flew up into a tree and they were just very small. So this morning, we're going to tackle a trail that we've never gone on. It's not a very long one. It's the Spruce Boardwalk Trail. Because we're camping at Bonnechere Provincial Park, we came in through the east entrance. And so this is closest to the visitor center, so we're going to make our way here. There's nobody here at this time. So ours is the only vehicle in the parking lot, so I'm happy to say we're the only ones that are going to be on this trail, hopefully for the entire time that we're on this hike. Anyway, we're bringing you along. So part of the magic of being here on our own is the fact that this is an overcast day. There's 70% chance that it's going to rain, about 0.5 millimeter, so not very much rain. But that's why, you know, wearing a rain jacket, I've got my rain pants on. We knew we'd probably explore a couple of shorter trails and of course go to the visitor center and look for moose and bears and whatever other exciting things we might find. But that's probably also the reason that there aren't that many people. And as you can see, I've got the bug net over my head because, yeah, we've got black flies swirling around us. And we knew there'd be mosquitoes. So that's okay. We just take all that stuff in stride and we prepare for it, including I've got some bug gloves. They're not really bug gloves. They're thin gloves that I can still work the cameras, but at least it keeps them off my skin. So anyway, we'll continue along the trail.
Actually, this was a trail I've been wanting to come to for a couple years, and this had more vista points on a shorter trail than the long trails Kathleen makes me walk on. They have not so many vista points. Just saying, I pick a good trail. It was really pretty, and it is great for strollers and a little more accessible because of there's a great section of boardwalk. So if you love photography and art subjects, Spruce Bog Trail is a must.
So when we finished the Spruce Boardwalk Trail, we did so just in time because then it started to rain a little bit. So we are here at the visitor center. This is their viewing platform. I mean, it's just beautiful that you can see as far as the eye, as far as the eye will reach. Right now the sky has cleared up a little bit, but we're still going to be dealing with a little bit of on and off weather, and that's okay. That's why we planned our day, so that we'd have maybe a couple of short trails. We're going to go over to the logging museum next. There's a trail associated with that, and then there's a building that is the museum. So we'll break up our day that way. And we also brought our lunch, so we're going to find a nice spot to be able to enjoy our meal. Okay, so we are just about finished with our day tripping today. We have just spent some time in Barry's Bay, which is about 30 minutes away from the provincial park, and we went for a coffee, and Shannon had her tea and a little bit of an art fix. So they display some art from local artisans, and so that was nice. And we went to an outdoorsy store that we noticed on our way through here in the morning. It is called the Meadow outdoors. And you know, it's like any sort of Algonquin outfitters where they have all kinds of gear for outdoor sporting events, whether it's kayaking, whether it's hunting, fishing, camping. And I bought myself another hydration pack that actually fits like a backpack. The one that I'm currently using fits around my waist, but my waist is already busy with holding my camera belt and anything else that's on the camera belt. So anyway, I'll give that a try and see how that goes. But that's something for you to know, that if you're heading up this way, there's a lot of outfitter type places that are found certainly between Algonquin and, you know, pretty well anywhere north, including up to Bonnechere Provincial Park. So we are just heading back to the campground. We have had on and off again rain today. So it was a good day to just plan a short hike. And then we went into the visitor center, which we quite enjoy, at Algonquin Provincial Park. Made the stop in Barry's Bay, and it's just been a really nice day. A good way to spend a kind of a rainy day. So, all right, off to the campground. So now that I've discovered this Beaver Meadow area, oh my gosh, this is the part of this park that I've so far found to be my favorite. And that's because the possibility of finding and hearing wildlife is so much better. Animals need to be near water, or most animals. And so as much as I enjoy hiking through the woods, typically I hike through woods that are aligned with streams or rivers or, creeks, that kind of thing, because that just brings wildlife to where I'm hiking. And the hike that I went on right here in Bonnechere has some water on either side, and it's actually not too far away from the highway, so it does make it a little bit noisier and a little harder to hear things. So after I finished that hike, I continued along. This is a road, and it just brings you up to where they have some rustic cottages and cabins and things like that. I saw this on the map, the fact that there's a beaver meadow, so I knew that this is where I wanted to try my luck. And you can hear it's alive with bird song, the sound of frog calls. So I've heard green frogs and what I believe are mink frogs. So I haven't heard them. And you have to hear frogs during their breeding season so that they make that sound. Otherwise, they're usually pretty quiet animals. So anyway, this is really exciting for me. Yes, the bugs are out. Yes, we have mosquitoes and there are black flies. And Shannon and I were comparing our lumps. Oh my gosh, I've got a massive lumps right behind, like on my neck, as does she. And that's where black flies tend to target your ears. So I've had blood smears and things like that. It's just, they're just female insects that are seeking a blood meal in order to nourish the eggs that they're ready to lay. In this kind of habitat here, it would be more inclined to be mosquito larvae that would be in this water, so emerging as adult mosquitoes. And freshwater or moving water is where you would tend to find, because this is freshwater, it's pond-like, it doesn't move. But in the water that has a flow to it, that's where you find black flies, as those eggs and larvae survive in that, and then that's where you're going to find the adults. And saying that, I see that there's a few black flies that are actually, I'm going to zip up because I can see them. They're actually around my camera right now. So I have found a great spot. This is where I'm going to want to hang out over the next week or so that we're here.
On a rainy day like today, this is my art studio. I take photos on my iPad to capture my subject. My painting setup for traveling consists of my Travel Winsor Newton 14-color watercolor palette with travel brushes, 6x9 watercolor paper book, and a collapsible water container. Everything I use fits in the little soft-sided orange lunch pail.